What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that's a little bit more fun and less serious, and that is the top 5 events in the Crew Motorfest that are just plain fun. They're just designed nicely. The styling is good. The race events, the paths, everything about it I like. And I'm going to give you my top 5 right now. So let's go. All right, so before we get into the list, these are not like in a particular order. Like there's not like the best event or like my favorite event in this list. I'm just giving you my favorite 5, okay? I can't really put these in order. It's like saying, what's your favorite song of all time? I have no idea. There's over 100 events in this thing, and it's hard to narrow it down. This list was insanely hard to even put together. So let me tell you about how I've come to make the decision. Basically, what I was looking for were events that I thought the devs did very well in terms of the overall styling, the event path, like the actual race path itself, any added like mechanics outside of just racing. It was their shortcuts, how long was the event, and was the event just actually enjoyable to play. And there were 5 events that really got my attention, and I have one honorable mention that just came out in season 6. We'll talk about that one at the end of the video. Now, on top of that, I was talking only about the playlist version of these races. If you go to the event settings, the mode has to be set to playlist. That's what I'm talking about. There's a specific car that you're using for these races. They have different themes. They have different props. As soon as you change this to main stage or custom, you're getting a different experience. So I'm only talking about the playlist version of these races because I feel like that is truly the experience that the devs designed for us to have. And obviously, custom mode is nice. You get to try a different race with a different car class, all that stuff. That's awesome. But for me, for this list, just the playlist version. All right, let's get into it. Starting with the Maui Expeditions, the Maui Big Tour. This is definitely the greatest mix of driving the game has to offer. There are beautiful drives along the highway sections, semi-technical neighborhood sections, and then one of the most technical bits of road the game has to offer in the final 30% of this race, along the beach with waterfall views and lots of just insanely good views. It's also the longest event in the game, which reminds me of the Crew 2. In the Crew 2, we had a race called New York, which started on one side of the map and ended on the other. It took on average about 30 minutes to complete, and it was one of my favorite races in the game. Now, this one obviously is not 30 minutes long. It's only about 10 minutes long, depending on the class. And with this Street 2 718 Spider, it takes somewhere around 10 or 11 minutes to complete. It's the best event in terms of like the variety of different racing you're going to be doing. I just think they did very well with the race path. That alone lands this on my list. All right, next up in the Hawaiian Scenic Tour playlist, the Wild Heart of Ko'olauloa. I don't know if I said that right, but this is the race. This is the rally race with the Challenger SRT8. Now, there aren't many rally events in the Crew Motorfest, but this is by far the best one. It features a true rally experience with both road and off-road sections, and the off-road sections have multiple terrains. I really like driving in this event with a more capable car though, but the Challenger SRT8 is fine. And the fact that you get to drive on the sand, on the road, on the dirt roads that are up in the mountains, you have hairpins, you have long sweepers. At the end, you actually have to go through more of the like black beach sand, which is really slippery, almost like mud. The variety of the terrain really puts you at a position where you have to adapt to multiple things. And that's, I think, the essence of rally racing. It's a car that can kind of go anywhere, and so this really embodies that in this race. Next up in the Electric Odyssey playlist, it's a race called Piece of E Story. Now, this is with the Taycan Turbo S. This race, I cannot tell you how insane this race was the first time I did it. I just got like this visual overload. It's got all these different elements in it, all of this like this weather and these light tornadoes and the storm and all these insane like pink light props, and then it has like the nitro strips on the ground that you have to refill your nitro, and there's a lot of like that strategy involved in trying to get a good time, and you're driving in this sort of eerie nighttime. When you get to the end of the race, it's like this electricity that flies over the car, and then you have the fireworks that go off with the confetti. It collectively is the craziest looking event in the game, and I absolutely love it. It almost feels like you're playing a different game than the Crew Motorfest. Now, in addition to that, the race path itself is actually really fun. You have to go up into the mountains, and there's hairpins, and then you come back down, and then there's these high-speed sections where you're blasting NOS. So it kind of offers a little bit of everything in such a short amount of time, and it's just an insane experience. I really like this event a lot. Moving on to the Hollywood Action playlist, and for this one, Scene 1, the driver, is definitely my favorite in the playlist. It introduces you to sort of this stunt driving mechanic. Now, obviously, there's not any stunt driving really in this event, but you're basically having to drive on these film strips and in these specific locations. The first time I played this event, I got super scared by the other cars being thrown at you for these scenes. It was absolutely insane. I love all of the little things that this event has to offer. The other drivers like narrowly missing you by what seems like just inches, the randomly placed traffic cars and the construction, the crazy path through all the storm drain and across the golf course. It's just all of it together adds to this overall theme of being like a stunt driver. It makes you really feel like you're the stunt driver in a movie, and it's got the commentary from the director, which is cool. And then even when you end the race, your character is not in your normal clothes. You're actually dressed up like Terry Jones, the main character of the movie. So I really like the addition of all the themes. And then I really love the sort of chaotic path that you have to take through all these different sections. It really feels like you're in a movie chase scene. So once again, excellently designed by this dev team and absolutely deserves to be on this list. And finally, we head to Made in Japan Volume 2. It would not be a list without at least one JDM event, and this one is just my favorite. Overall, the styling of like sort of the sunset, all of the dragons everywhere, it's just a very nice event. It's very pleasing on the eyes. Like the colors are soft, but you know, vibrant. There's pinks and purples, and they match the car, the styling of the car, and they have these bright pops of like weird blue color. Overall, the styling of this event is just so nice. And you have this sort of storm in the background. It looks really good. You've got all these dragons everywhere that are awesome and amazing. They go up and around all of the bridges. And then, you know, when you pass them, they shoot out like quote unquote fire, but it's really just like confetti. And the whole event is just super enjoyable. Then on top of that, the race path is actually really nice. You've got this mixture of highway and technical, and the car itself really fits the event. The ability of the Supra to handle all of the things that this event is throwing at you. It's overall just one of the most fun events to run. Out of all the JDM events, this is absolutely my favorite. Now, I did say I have one honorable mention, so I'm going to give that to you right now, and that's the event called Dealing the Cards, and this is in the brand new Red Bull Wild Ride playlist. This one I just have this weird connection to. I don't know that everyone's going to find this event very fun, but for me personally, I like this event because it reminds me a lot of the Crew 2. The Crew 2 has these like really crazy rally raid routes that sort of, you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go. The checkpoints are really spread out, and so you have a lot of freedom to sort of make your own path, and that freedom is something I really enjoy because it's sort of a puzzle within the race. You have to figure out where the fastest paths are, where the best places to jump are, where you have to avoid trees or, you know, breakable objects that are going to slow you down. I just overall like that style of an event. So that transferred into Motorfest is really this type of event where you're bombing these hills, you're at high speeds, you've got these choices to make. Are you going to take the jump? Are you going to skip the jump? Are you going to take this path through the trees? Are you going to jump over this rock? There's all kinds of things. There's all kinds of like choices that you have to make during the event, and that type of an event. So if you haven't tried that event, you definitely need to try that. All right, to wrap this up, there are almost 200 events in Motorfest in these playlists, so there's a lot to discover if you haven't played them already. And I hope that this short list will get you started on some of these playlists and understand some of these themes. I love the theme styles in this game. It's one of the things that sort of sets this apart. These are like these very specific sort of designed experiences that the devs have worked pretty hard on. So I really appreciate that. And to be honest with you, I haven't really spoken well of playlists in general in terms of them adding playlists to the game post-launch. That's because my perspective is really centered around replayability, and playlists don't really offer as much replayability as, say, multiplayer. So if you're wondering why I'm focusing on this now, I just felt like this video was a good opportunity for me to highlight the fact that I do appreciate these sort of designed experiences within the game. I just wish a lot of the focus would be put on like multiplayer and replayability. So that's it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I've helped you with this one, and I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.